Good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be in Bangladesh. It used to be my home country. I was UNFPA's representative here for almost 4 years, and I express my heartfelt appreciation to the government of Bangladesh for again hosting us here in Dhaka. Thank you, Chair, for giving me the floor, and more so, thank you for your patience as I was opening my technologies. I'm wondering if I'm suited to talk on this particular topic in view of that. I'm here today in my role as Chief of Seoul Representation Office in South Korea for UNFPA. And it's a very challenging location to be in. In a sense, we are already in the future. We are already in the future in terms of the megatrends that we have been discussing over these past days in very interesting conversations, but also on all of the matters that we are seeing, we are feeling them more. The rate of urbanization, and therefore the solutions that are therefore required. The aging, the lowest of the low fertility for the past 20 years, now below 0.7. So we are seeing them there. But at the same time, we can also see the power of growth in South Korea, which is a country that really pivoted in a very short time from a precarious situation after the war to a very winning situation today in the world scale. And the country recognizes the support it got from all of the different exchanges in being able to revert the trend that it was on. And in addition, it is now having a very high aspiration for its own growth. But it is also saying, when we grow, we want to give more. We are actually stepping up our official development assistance. We are giving hopes, we are helping others in this day and time, which I feel is a very refreshing perspective to operate from, especially in this day and time where we see other trends that are less positive. And on the other hand, I think in the Republic of Korea, there is also this constant experimentation, innovation, the lead on artificial intelligence, the robotics, the trying out new solutions. So I think from this latitude, the question that keeps nagging me is precisely that: what can we do? How can we harness the opportunities of the future to reach our global goals? And as you know, the UN has committed to revamp itself, ourselves. We are going to become the UN 2.0. And to do so, we will engage in something called the Quintet of Change. Quintet is a small orchestra of 5 people. This time it's 5 competencies. We need to be better at strategic foresight, to know what's in the future. Of course, that's the $1 million question everyone wants to know, so that we can prepare for it. And it's very hard to do. We need data, that's what the UN is saying. We need new behavioral sciences. We need also innovation. So these are the key elements in this transition, and we need digital solutions. So I can see this is the competency portfolio that is moving ahead. And I think certainly harnessing the power of South-South and triangular cooperation and collaborations can be some very powerful avenues, especially when it comes to manage very complex agendas, such as the ICPD and SDGs and world peace, which we see whenever we are tackling one issue, we know that there are interdependencies and we have to open the whole complex. And therefore we need thick, as we say in anthropology, we need thick solutions embedded and contextualized. So as you will know, UNFPA, of course, we are celebrating the ICPD 30 this year, and we have a series of global dialogues taking place, and one was precisely here in Dhaka on demographic resilience a little bit more than a month ago. And last week, 27, 28 June, in our headquarters, we had another global dialogue, which we hope will infuse into the Summit of the Future. And that was precisely on technology and innovation. So what it was agreed to do was to advance commitments towards the development of feasible, cost-effective, and scalable technologies, addressing the digital divide and the associated inequalities that exist in technology diffusion, which actually do affect people's access to the benefits of the global goods that are happening right now. And therefore, if we don't take that action, can risk further worsening social divides and also discrimination. We also said that we will enable collective action to address safety, equitable access, governance, discrimination, and tech-facilitated gender-based violence by aligning technology solutions with human rights, gender equality, the rule of law, and also the common good. We will support future partnerships and collaboration to harness the potential of technologies for sustainable development and to work towards a world in which technology equalizes opportunities specifically for women and girls and also benefits all. And I think what the conference and what our discussions and inquiries in UNFPA has been to see that the design of these new technologies really do not sufficiently address the voices of the people who are left behind. And if we cut this famous cake by gender, we will see that specifically women and girls' voices in the technological solutions have been left behind. But it comes also to the medical solutions that could critically advance women's health and well-being. Even in the medical trials, women's history and views and perceptions are severely underreported, including in reproductive health. So there is a huge agenda that we need to address, and I think that there are also considerable scopes for that collaboration within the South-South and triangular collaboration. And specifically, the artificial intelligence quantum leap, as they said. They say it's the one biggest change that we can foresee to happen is really going to be critical to be part of that development. We can also foresee that for South-South exchange, it may imply some new efficiencies, some new returns on investment. For example, by using some of these technologies, we may be able to find many of the policy programmatic solutions that do exist, but those that do unrecorded, for example, among the people who are already left behind, will be ever the more unseen. So I think our job is really to keep the pace and expand the frontiers and step up our collaboration so that we can continue to deliver the solution and use the new technologies to the advantage of the populations and the underserved who are in such dire need. And just to wrap up, I think it's an important reminder to think about the SDGs, which unfortunately we came to see that it's very unlikely that they will be reached by 2030 at this pace. However, when they were formulated in 2015, we didn't even know about artificial intelligence, and on some of these solutions, the telemedicines, the mobile solutions, we had no clue. It was beyond our imagination. And just to pick one of the critical indicators, the gender equality target, the SDG 5, which is so critically associated with many of the other targets, the World Economic Forum said it will take 132 years before we close the gender gap at this pace. Which means it is very much more likely that we will farm on the moon before we see gender equality. On Mars even on a planet which right now we have not seen. It's beyond our actual horizon. It's very possible. Excellency. So it means that we can also do. We can bring the changes, and we must do our utmost, and we must do so together. And I thank you very much for your attention. Shubaike Donabat.